Hi everybody, we're talking a comparison between Aldi's and Baker's on the exact same list. Now I did a recording and I'll link it in a comment or in the description for you about what it cost me at Aldi today to go and purchase. And I'm just going to read the list very quickly on what I bought, and I'm going to compare the Aldi price with the baker's price. Now I didn't do the math to do the subtraction, but I'm going to tell you the total difference at the end on what I spent at Aldi compared to what it would have cost me at Baker's today. Now I am a Baker's fan. I love going to Baker's because when I go to Baker's, I get points for, like, I can get digital coupons. I can get points back on my gas. I can get, they have a large variety of things. So I'm not dishing Baker's. I like Baker's. But for the things that were on my list today, if I would have gone to Baker's, I would have paid more. So let's talk about it. So I purchased a pint of half and half. At Baker's, it was $2. At Aldi's, let's get that right. Let's go with Aldi's first. At Aldi's, it was $2.49. I looked up on Baker's online, it would have been $2.99. We got the sweet and salty granola bars at Aldi. They're the cheap ones. We bought 2 boxes. They were $1.99 each. And the equivalent to that at Baker's was $2.59 each. I wanted some gelato. I'm becoming a gelato fan. And so I picked up a 16-ounce variety. I don't even remember what it was, but it was equivalent to what I saw at Baker's. They didn't have the exact type, but they had the same size, and it was a mixture of stuff, so I went with that. So at Aldi's, it was $4.29, and at Baker's, it was $6.49. Then we picked up some Parmesan cheese with Romano in it at Aldi's, and it was $2.79, and at Baker's, it was $3.29. Are you starting to see the difference in the costs? I hope you are. Okay, we're going to keep going. The list isn't that long, but I have several other things to share with you. We picked up a 16-ounce bag of fresh green beans, and at Aldi's, it cost me $2.99. At Baker's, it was $4.79. We bought the Perdue frozen chicken strips that are already made. They're already baked, so you just warm them up in the air fryer, and that was $8.99. The equivalent at Baker's was $8.49. Same size. We would have saved money by going to Baker's for that one. We bought a package of 4 quarters of salted butter at Aldi for $2.89, and Baker's had it listed for $3.49. We bought a pound of asparagus at Aldi for $3.19. That was fresh. And at Baker's, they had it for $3.99. We bought one stalk of organic broccoli for $3.29 at Aldi, and Baker's was selling it today for $4.49. We bought a smaller 16-ounce size of shredded wheat it was frosted shredded wheat, but it was the off-brand. And at Aldi, it was $2.09. Baker's did not have an off-brand of it, so we went with the store. They didn't have a store brand either. I don't even know for sure who makes shredded wheat, but the shredded wheat company, and that same size was $4.99. We bought a bag of lemons, and there was probably maybe 6 of them in there, and they had the seeds in them. And I found the equivalent on Baker's for $4.99. So it was like a bag with several of them in there. I purchased the mandarin oranges, which would be like the cuties that you would see in the store. But since they said mandarin oranges on them at Aldi, which it was $3.79, I found the same or equivalent at Baker's for $4.99. We bought a 16-ounce package of Baby Bella mushrooms, whole mushrooms, for $1.69 at Aldi, and at Baker's, it was $2.89. A large eggs in a set of dozen were $1.47 at Aldi, $1.59 at Baker's. Colby Jack in the shredded pack was sold for 4 cups for $2.79 at Aldi, and for 3 cups at Baker's was $3.69. But when I did the price per cup, it was only a penny off, so we only paid a penny more per cup over at Aldi. So that would be very equivalent. I bought the uncooked pork sausage patties because they didn't have them already made at Aldi for $2.39, and at Baker's it was $2.99 for 8 of them. We bought one 16-ounce package of whole white mushrooms for $1.29 at Aldi, and at Baker's they were $2.39. We bought the Clancy sour cream and cheese, regular potato chips. I think they were Ridge potato chips for $1.79, and it was the same price at Baker's. We got the Hint of Lime chips, the large bag, like the family size bag, for $1.95 at Aldi, and at Baker's it was $6.49. That's a lot. Two things that I forgot to mention on the previous video. So if you go back to the previous video and watch me unboxing it, we had bought a box of chocolate sea salt cashews for $5.99 at Aldi, and at Baker's it was $9.99. And then I looked at this list. I don't know how many times I looked at that receipt and I couldn't see the bread. Well, it's because it was called Sprouted Breads, and I kept looking at Sprouted thinking, what is that? I was in such a hurry, I missed it. So it was on there. So if you look at the previous one, it was on there. I thought Aldi had not rung it up. I stand corrected, Aldi. I apologize. It was $3.59, and Baker's, the same equivalent sprouted bread, would have been $3.99. Now, over at Aldi, my total bill on this receipt was $71.27. You're going to notice I didn't have like chicken, beef, or anything like that because I did a haul, and you should go watch my video about how much I saved by going to the local meat market. I'll try to link that in the description below. So I didn't need any beef or chicken. So that definitely makes a huge difference in how much I spent. But over at Baker's, the exact same amount of what I purchased from Aldi's was $93.98. The math tells me that by shopping at Aldi, bagging my own groceries, taking it out to the car, basically I'm doing the same thing at Baker's because they don't do a whole lot over there either. I saved $22.71. So, you know, that starts to add up over the course of the entire year. So my husband and I don't need to save money. But the longer I'm at home, I'm no longer in the classroom, I start to look at these things and I start to question what on earth is going on here. And so if I can help you save some money, that means that I've done my good deed for today. Okay, stay tuned for more. If you want to see me make this same breakdown with Hy-Vee, and maybe do an Aldi Baker's Hy-Vee comparison, let me know. All right, tell me where you're shopping. What are your little tips and tricks for saving money at the grocery store? And stay tuned as well because I'm going to be talking about a gourmet chef box or grill box, that you can get at Aldi for like $65. And I'm going to compare that to something equivalent that you can get at a local meat market. You don't want to miss it.